What's happening, beautiful souls? Tapping in, checking in today. A little bit hungover because, as you know, Indian weddings get cray-cray. So I'm up here on the rooftop, gathering my chi back, my prana, my life force energy through my beingness, and ready to share with you guys something that has absolutely changed my whole energetic system, okay? And it's very, very simple too. So you can practice it anywhere, you can do it anywhere. I might have talked about it in a few videos ago, but this is very, very potent. The biggest switch in your energy to unblock the flow of energy through your whole body, your beingness, and it goes like this. This is your energy. But sometimes it can get stuck like this, like that, okay? When you fidget, I almost want you to think of like you're glitching. You have certain mannerisms and trauma responses that your body naturally will give you. And once you observe that, like you're tapping your pen like this, or you're tapping your foot like really fast, or you're doing something like some kind of a twitch, your body has this excess energy that it doesn't know what to do with. But you tapping that, you're actually releasing that energy, right? You're discharging that energy rather than using it for something or doing anything with it. If you feel like you have this energy reserve and you don't do anything as you fidget, you will notice naturally that anxiety comes up in your body. But the great thing here is now you can actually discharge that anxiety. You can release that anxiety once it's actually there. Now, what's really important is to work with the bottom of the belly and really being able to breathe in. Inhale, notice I did a reverse breathing, reverse belly breathing. Normally when we breathe in, belly goes in. Opposite here. As we inhale, belly expands out, okay? And when we exhale, it's coming up the spine, okay? So inhale going to the front of the body, okay? From like here to the top of the head. Inhale all the way to the perineum, and then exhale, reach the top of the head. What's really important to understand is that your tongue posture is facing at the roof of your mouth, okay? This is very, very important. It's also cool because this is also what they recommend in mewing, right? Mewing is by this guy named Dr. Mew. And it's said to affect how, like your jawline, your facial structure, your placement of your bones, and a lot of different benefits like that. However, this is coming from the knowledge of something called the Microcosmic Orbit. This is from Taoism. Certain tantric practices emphasize this as well, but in a different context, using the chakra system. However, the Microcosmic Orbit is such a powerful visualization that you can do for your flow of energy to start spinning again and not sputtering, leaking. Like if you had a water hose, right? And you just sprayed that water hose, you don't want it to go sputter like a sprinkler system that doesn't generate water, right? Or like a water hose that's all tied up, kinked up, right? Maybe a couple of holes there, so it's not fully giving the greatest amount of water. So once we can have a powerful water hose, and water hose is in a sense that our entire system, right? Our energetic body, our beingness. So our triggers make our body go into these inadvertent patterns, right, that we've stored in the past. Like let's say you had a very, as an example, right, you had very abusive, verbally abusive parents who would yell at you, like, you know, shock you when you were younger, when you were a small child, and you were very afraid. And what you did back then is your muscles tightened, your heart clenched, you closed your heart up. But our natural sense of self is the openness and the depth of love. Our natural state of self is boundless love. It has no boundaries, right? We add boundaries to it. We create a mechanism or a framework for it. But already that is the natural equilibrium, the sauce that keeps the universe spicy, okay? Like, that is what needs to keep moving forward. However, we have this internal conflict at times where we think, oh, I want to protect my self-esteem rather than experience the depth and the openness of my love. Okay? So if you're trying to constantly keep your heart protected, I don't want to get heartbroken again, I don't want to feel hurt again, look, you're actually adding a lot of kinks in your water hose. You get that? Like, how much longer are you going to put this off? Because the thing is, a lot of people, I can guarantee you that something that you struggle with as a man or a woman or non-binary is vulnerability. Okay? Vulnerability. What do I mean by vulnerability? Because, hey, soldiers are also vulnerable. You get what I'm saying? Soldiers going out into war are very, very vulnerable. They could die. You get what I'm saying? So let's redefine what we mean by vulnerability. Vulnerability doesn't only mean emotionally vulnerable. It could be creatively vulnerable as an artist. It could be physically vulnerable. It could be mentally vulnerable. Right? You let yourself go on this like mental escapade. I've done these many nights, right? Going on these deep trenches of rabbit hole information that suddenly you get some golden nugget or, pivotal moment that breaks through, right? And I'm sure some of you Flow Jedis have experienced this majestic quality of this. So let me start to give you kind of a roadmap to understand these two, right? One is a superficial essence of the ego. One is the depth of the soul. It's almost like the comparison or the analogy I want to give you is like a cheap, short, quick script for copywriting to force someone to buy something, or it's like a really deep volume of a poetry where you have to spend a couple minutes reading through it over and over again to truly grasp what it really means. And the words don't do it justice. There's so much emotions coming up. There's so much evolution emerging on the other side of that poem. So that's the main difference. And if you can do activities like this, play sports, okay? Dance, do movements like this, do yoga with this energy of openness in love, make love or have sex or just fuck, I feel like we segregate too many times like these two concepts of making love and fucking, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's we need both, okay? As a flow state Jedi, you're not only like an eye gazer, you're not only a hair puller, you can combine both, man. You don't need to be like, oh, I'm a fuck boy or I'm a lover boy. We're both, okay? We're cosmic. We're multidimensional. We are everything and nothing. You don't need to classify, okay? Leave the classification for the critiques, the critics, right? What I just said, the critics. So, man, I feel good right now. Sometimes I notice my energy is distorted based on like if I have like blocked sinuses, both my nose can't flow properly. I'll notice a kink in my energy then. If I notice that I'm having a difficulty to hold breath in my stomach, I have digestive issues, it'll stop me from breathing and accessing my internal flow state, okay? There's a lot of different things where energy just gets stored in different parts of the body and causes these kinks and intrusions and problems, impedes our success in a sense. But if you can understand what this energetic system really means for us, then we can become the true catalysts for our transformation. We can become the ones who actually save ourselves. We don't need saviors anymore. You get what I'm saying? It's a powerful understanding. So I want to show you guys real quick the beach ball stance, okay? This is what is going to remind you of using the Microcosmic Orbit daily. Try and see if you can build this up to doing this for 10 minutes, okay? Maybe the first day you'll only do it for like 30 seconds or a minute. But try and stack it and see if you can do this just for 10 minutes. If you can, you're at a very good place with your emotional leakage. You're at a very good internal space between what I mentioned of the superficiality versus the depth. We've got to, basically we've got to find a way that we embrace that part of us, that ego, that one. Like, let's say you're walking on a red carpet. I always use this example. You have your bling on Armani suit. You're looking good, you're looking fresh. But you're just enjoying the thrill of it. You're not attached to that thing or that event. You're not like, that's the only event I'll ever get a chance to go to and make it a very important part of your storyline and add all these expectations to it and then add a bunch of assumptions of what it means about you that you went to that event. And then you get what I'm saying? Instead of that, right, the adding of the context and the complication towards what it means to be this kind of person, to have this kind of reputation, so that I can move up the rungs of the dominance hierarchy until I get to the top. I'm waiting until I get to the top. That's how you motherfuckers are thinking. Okay, that's how you guys are thinking, actually. So we have to start thinking more accurately, right? Relax. My words are getting kinked and plastered up. I love that word. Stop kink shaming me, bro. Okay, Kevin Gates, he talked about how he drank pee from a company. That guy says some of the most out-of-pocket stuff, but he's also like one of the great, like, the more you're trying to sell yourself as a paragon of virtue, the more you gotta understand that, yo, this person has some dirty secrets that they're hiding, bro. Like, honestly, have you ever noticed this? Like, the people who are like, I'm here to save the world, are usually the ones who are like the villains, or like you see it in shows all the time too. Like, I mean, to the villain, they're actually doing a good job, right? But again, villain in the right context, right? Not villain in the sense of like, I want to diabolically destroy everyone and everything. Though that can be used as a force of good as well, in a sense of like, you know, destroying your old self and things like this, or using the power of like, you know, I've worked a lot with like rockers and things like this with heavy metal. They have that kind of punk rock, anti-establishment energy to them, which actually makes them transcend and be a disruptor and be one of the greatest innovators of their time, of their generation, right? So it's very, very important that we start to understand this kind of energy maintenance. So let me just show you the horse stance. Okay, it's very, very easy, but also don't let it fool you, because it can get very, very difficult to hold this for a while. Okay, but again, we are concentrating on what I taught you, which is the microcosmic orbit, remember, okay? So let me just face this down a little bit. Be better for you guys. So basically, what you're doing is feet slightly shoulder width apart, okay? You want to bend your knees very slightly, not too much, not too little. Very slight bend of the knees. Then what you're doing is you're imagining you're just holding this beach ball, okay? Remember the tongue posture as I showed you. Inhale, belly expands out. Exhale. Good. Good. Some of you did it with me, which is awesome. Some of you are like, oh, I'll bookmark this and maybe I'll do it later, you know? But that's cool. So basically, once you understand how to use this mechanism of energy, you will set yourself more free. You will become the catalyst that will actually set yourself. Whoa, that's really cool what they're doing over there. Let me just show you guys. Can I zoom in? That's cool. It looks like a crane in the water. You guys see that? That's wild. That's a literal crane in the water, bro. Damn. I'm trying to think of a dope metaphor for that, but that's fascinating, huh? Crane in the water. All right, so try practicing this, man, okay? Try practicing this in-breath, out-breath. Do it with the nose, okay? Inhale, exhale through the nose. Don't always use your mouth to exhale and inhale. It messes with the system, right? This kind of hyperventilation shamanic breath isn't always good for us, okay? We do need this kind of nostril breathing as well, okay? Advanced pranayama. We can't just rely on the that kind of breath, right? Because we're so addicted to this depletion culture, right? A lot of the times when we're having sex, we're just like, I just want to nut, right? And just go to sleep, right? We don't have that extension process of the depth and the physical building up of intimacy and paying attention to erogenous zones. You got to pay attention to your senses, as I mentioned yesterday, right? Or the day before that. So if, for instance, like let's say you're making love to a woman, right? You're making love to her, but you're only looking at one part of her body. You're gonna be stuck with your energy. Your internal energy is gonna be stuck because you are a mirror in that moment. You get what I'm saying? So if you're like only looking at her titties or something, right, as you're making love, like all the energy will be centered in her heart and it won't move around. It won't give them the freedom either. So paying attention to the whole human body, okay, and placing attention on different parts, not staring for too long, not giving it less attention, but treating every part of the body with care, right? With attention. But still, you gotta have this mechanics of how this goes down as well. You gotta know some positions that help you mostly connect your penis to the woman's cervix. So in a sense, you gotta understand that there's certain penis sizes that support that, and certain, I guess you could say, vaginal appropriateness, right? That merges with that. So, you know, that's again something that you have to communicate with your partner at the time, and make them more used to how you most receive and give pleasure, okay? This is about the giving and receiving of pleasure. Sometimes we're good at giving, sometimes we're good at receiving, but if you can be good at both, that will make that system keep flowing, keep that current moving forward. You see what I'm saying? So try not to rush to the end of the movie, in a sense. Try not to fast forward through this beautiful experience of life all the time. You gotta take it slow, okay? You gotta take it slow, okay? I'm not saying go and do Carezza for like 2 hours and you know, go into a weird love trance and get stuck there and then do nothing for the rest of the day. I'm saying just relax and embrace the openness and the depth of your heart. Allow yourself to be correctly vulnerable. I think there's a correct way of expressing our vulnerability that makes us very enchanting, likable, enigmatic characters, okay? Where a little bit of that, you know, expression or the openness of my heart. You know, I've got to admit it to you. I feel very isolated, I said to someone yesterday. And, you know, they revealed, hey, man, I feel exactly the same way, bro. Like, you know, I sometimes go through these downward spirals and then I go up again. You know, and You know, it was a very genuine conversation that opened up, and it wasn't the superficial, hey, how's your day going? Oh, is the weather nice? Oh, I wonder what we'll do today. I want to talk about like astral projection, portals, aliens, chakras, you know what I mean? Like, I want to go there. I want to go to the cosmic. I want depth. I want depth in conversation. I don't want this quick fix mentality of like, oh yeah, let's talk about oh, are you married, or are your parents forcing you to get married? Like, nonsense, bro. Nonsense. I don't care about that stuff. You know, like, honestly, like, I am here to be a ripple effect for the planet. So my mission right now is to be the embodiment of flow. And then from there, you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. You know, I'm envisioning tantric, you know, consorts and energetic exchanges and activations and different portals that I walk through and different moments of my life where I step up and elevate and keep transforming until you can't even recognize me anymore, until I just become a concept, until I just become an idea, a beautiful idea that you can purchase for $9.99. Just kidding. What's happening, guys? If you're tuning in right now and if you stayed for this long, maybe you've skipped around in the video a couple times too. I know some of you are doing that shit. Don't lie to me. And that's okay. I love all of you the same, equally. You're all beautiful souls to me. Because I understand. I understand you. Maybe some people don't understand you, but I get you, man. You don't want to just be a leaf in the wind, because you are the wind. Let's get it. Upward Spiral Gang, may we never be the same again. Whoosh. Let's go, let's go. Hit that like and subscribe button. You already know. Like, hit me up for programs, coaching. You already know the deal. Let's go.